Antone Henshaw. We rocking at Westminster and Pfeiffer, my old hood, where I used to hustle at, where I used to make a difference in the drug trade and do all the nonsense, get money, get my people's money, live our lives. It was our version of freedom, and the way we lived was reckless, wild, and free. It's been a long time since I've been out here, so this is a little emotional for me. To see what my hood turned into, I like it that it's no more drugs, it's no more violence, as much as you could say that, but it's real.
So let me ask you something, right? You are notorious for running this block. This neighborhood has literally demolished and re-established itself to get away from its corrupted ways. So explain to some of the destruction that you have personally caused this community.
Well, I remember when I first started my set, the lady called the cops on us. And when she called the cops on us, she was like, I don't want them outside in front of my house. So that night we came back and we bust all the windows out.
Sure enough, did.
Bust every window out in the house, from upstairs to downstairs. You know, and when I look at that, she never called the cops again. I was the youngest to ever set up a set. I was 13 years old, and I just rocked out from 13 until I was incarcerated at 18. And I made sure all my homies ate, and my policy was reckless. It was like, we take no shorts, we don't want to hear nothing, we out here to get money, and anything or anybody that got in our way, we was removing it by any means necessary.
So let me ask you something. Now, when you say that, because I think of it as like you have people that start sets, they go to war, but then you know, one generation removes, nobody knows who you are, the neighborhood flips, and all the warring and everything that you went through, you know, it's like your name is not on it, you know what I mean? And then it's the next generation that comes on and starts the same cycle all over again.
No, it didn't happen that way for here.
No, it didn't.
Like when I left, it was literally
shut down.
Shut down. They never, you know, because what I learned my hustle from was Troy and Swans. Who they learned their hustle from was Mook on Moore Street. So, and I watched them. I watched the Tillmans. I watched Bandito. I watched all of them. Negro, Wilson. I watched all of their hustles. And I'm like, I'm a shorty though. And I remember, like, yo, why won't they let us hustle? They wouldn't let us hustle. So I went out and got my own connect and brought it back to my dudes and was bagging up and like, oh, let's go. So, but one thing about us was we didn't shoot each other. We didn't kill each other.
We used no guns.
No guns.
We used hands.
No guns.
So let me ask you something. No guns, but what did you end up going to jail for?
I wound up going to jail for guns, using guns. But that's a whole nother story. What my brothers don't know was when I started tooling up, it was because a rival set paid a dude that I look up to kill me. And when they paid him to kill me and he couldn't kill me, from that point on I knew whatever you build, you must first have security for what you're about to build. So security first was the first thing. And after that, I just started wilding out. Once I knew that they were trying to kill me and I was a kid, these were grown men, I tooled up. Everywhere I go, and I made my dudes tooled up. We were all knuckle dudes.
Yes.
But then I said, nah, these dudes is paying dudes to kill us. We ain't going out like that. We gonna defend what we doing, and we ain't have to fire a shot. I was already wild with the hands, so they knew that, and they couldn't pay anybody to do anything crazy to me. So then they was like, damn, we can't even pay nobody to hit this kid. But I was 13 at the time, and I didn't realize that incident caused me trauma. And my reaction to that trauma made me more and more violent.
So what age did you go to prison?
I went to prison 4 months after my 18th birthday
For what?
for homicide.
So you're 18 years old. You got sentenced to murder.
Right.
How much time did they give you?
They gave me 30 to life.
So you got life at 18.
At 18. No criminal convictions,
Yeah.
no nothing. No juvenile convictions, none of that. Ever.
So you're 18-year-old kid. What prison do you go to?
I went straight to a maximum security prison, Trenton State Prison. I didn't go to a juvenile facility. I didn't go to anything. They sent me straight to an adult male facility.
With no but killers.
With nothing but killers, no prior incarceration. And just left me to die. It wasn't meant. I wasn't supposed to come back here. You know, I wasn't supposed to make it out.
How much time did you end up doing?
I wound up doing the whole 30.
So you did 30 years in prison in
Straight.
Trenton State.
And no, I did 19 in Trenton State and got administratively transferred to East Jersey State Prison, which is Rawway. And I finished my last 11 years in Rawway Prison.
So how do you think 30 years changed you?
It wasn't the 30 years. It was the fact that they threw me the fuck away and said I wasn't shit. So when they threw me away and said I wasn't shit, my mission was like, nah, you don't get to throw me away. My life means something. And even if you didn't see any redemptive qualities in me, you sent all these little white boys to Yardville, Mountain View, Bordentown, but you sent me straight into the belly of the beast, and you thought I wasn't gonna make it. So for me, it was about proving all of that bullshit wrong and going at it harder than a motherfucker. If I could go at my hustle as hard as I could go for my life as hard as I could. That's what made me change. I wasn't a fucking animal. I didn't deserve to be thrown away, but they threw me away.
Man, that's vicious, man. You're an 18-year-old kid. I mean, you know, how did the murder go down? Is it somebody new? Was it like, you know, or was it some random act of violence?
It was a random act of violence, but there was other co-defendants, so the statute of limitation on murder in Jersey, so we got to be very careful about how far we go into that. I ate it. I'm gonna put it this way. I ate the case. I ate it. I didn't snitch on nobody. I didn't tell on nobody, and I stood tall on that shit. And I did the whole 30. They were trying to make me an example, and I came out as an example for my community of what not to do and how not to get involved in this shit.
One thing that strikes me when I sit down and talk to you is you're very remorseful and regretful for some of the harm that you have caused to people.
Very much.
So, you know, for some people that don't talk to you as much as I do, I think you need to get across that to our audience. That's like, why are you interviewing somebody that took somebody's life? Why are you glorifying this person?
Hell no.
So I want you to, you know,
like who I was is not a glorification. I smile to hide my pain. Don't get in an uncomfortable situation and I make that smile. It's that uncomfortableness. If you know me, if you've been around me, you know, like, dog, when Tone smile, it's something serious.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't smile. I'm always serious. So for me, I look at an innocent 19-year-old man who lost his life, left his family, left his girl. Like, yo, like, how would you even involved? You didn't get down like that. You normally rock. And you shoot the fade with anybody. And that ain't even your cup of tea. But at the end of the day, an innocent man's life was lost. To this point on, is to honor him. To break that cycle of violence. To say like, nah, there's other ways. There's other ways to get paper. I didn't believe that at that time, but I know it now.